Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Reduce your ping time and get faster speeds when you game at expressvpn.com/roundup. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. Guys, big news. Our long national nightmare of no PS5s might be over. How do we know this? Well, we don't for sure, but there is one piece of evidence that might point to a bright next-gen console future for all of us. And that piece of information is scalper prices. And they're going down. Apparently. Woo! Yes, those shady who have been marking up PS5s have been cutting their prices. That's according to Forbes, which reported that PS5 prices on the secondary market, StockX, have dropped by almost 30% since their peak. That's a lot of percentage points. StockX told Forbes that after hitting $1,000 on Cyber Weekend 2020 for the disc version of the PS5, the console has dropped to $715 in September. That's this month. Meanwhile, the digital version, which also peaked at $1,000, is now selling for under $700. Now, you're thinking that's still more expensive than retail, and you're right, because retail, it's $499 for the disc version and $399 for the digital PS5, but it is a good sign that it's dropping. One seller called Matt told Forbes that prices on PS5s are steadily going down. Resellers told Forbes that their sales volume hasn't dropped, just the price. So does this mean that supplies are getting better? There are more PS5s out there, maybe that's why the price is dropping. Well, it's hard to say at this point. On one hand, everything we've read indicates that PS5 supplies are still low. New drops are still selling out instantly. Now, it's been blamed, of course, on the widely reported chip shortage that's been affecting all kinds of technology, not just consoles. In an interview with Reuters back in July, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan indicated that they're doing all they can. He said, "We've built more PlayStations faster than we ever have before, which makes me happy. But on the other hand, we're some time from being able to meet all the demand that's out there, which makes me feel bad." Is he Mr. Rogers all of a sudden? Is he like addressing a class of 3-year-olds? Talk to me like an adult, Jim Ryan. Ryan went on to say, "Our partners are performing really well for us, but the chip shortage is definitely a challenge that we are all navigating." So, okay, supplies are still low. And in a report earlier this month, Toshiba said that its power regulating chips, which are used by the new game consoles, will continue to be in short supply for the foreseeable future. Bloomberg quoted Takeshi Kamabuchi, a director in charge of semiconductors at one of Toshiba's units, who said that the supply of chips will remain very tight until at least September next year. In some cases, and this is kind of a big bomb, we may find some customers not being fully served until 2023. So that prompted a bunch of PS5 supplies won't get better until 2023 headlines. Then again, Bloomberg also assured us that we'd be getting a Switch Pro this year, so maybe a grain of salt there. On the other hand, when it comes to supplies of PS5s, there is some good news out there. In an earnings call last month, you might remember that Sony's CFO Hiroki Totoki said that Sony had secured enough chipsets to hit its sales targets for this financial year. Specifically, their sales target is 14.8 million PS5s by April of 2022, which means that Sony has secured at least that many chips. So that seems good. They already announced in July that they'd sold 10 million PS5s since launch in November, but a few months of that was from a previous fiscal year. So they got how many? I don't know. I'm not good at math. But the price is dropping for a reason, so maybe supplies are getting better. Please, come on. We need PS5. We need more of them. I don't need a new talking car. Give me a PS5. Actually, I do need a talking car. That would be really cool. All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second. But first, guys, let's talk more about your favorite and mine. I'm talking, of course, about ExpressVPN. Guys, are you using a VPN when you're on the internet? Because you should be. Going online without a VPN is like carrying around a very expensive smartphone without a case on it. Yeah, you're probably fine, but eventually you'll get some cracked data. I mean, glass. I've definitely had one of my kids throw my phone on the ground and shatter it, so you do need a case. And you also need ExpressVPN for when you're online, because it's worse than a cracked phone because you don't stuff your financial information into a suitcase, and anytime you're on an unencrypted network, your data isn't secure. Any hacker on that network can steal your personal data and sell it. That's not good. You don't want that. You don't want some creepy ass hacker out in Eastern Europe, like with your personal data. No offense to Eastern Europe, love you guys. But ExpressVPN creates an encrypted tunnel between your device and the wild, wild internet so that hackers can't steal your info. Again, you need some sort of protection when you're online. You guys are smart. You know this. You know hackers are out there. They're going to steal your stuff. Get yourself protected. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/roundup. That's expressvpn.com/roundup. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/roundup. On to the rest of the stories. So Deathloop just came out. It's getting some really good reviews. Metacritic has both the PS5 and the PC versions at an 88 score. Very strong, with the consensus being that it's another great game from Arcane Studios. IGN gave it a perfect score, saying Deathloop encases fun investigation work and satisfying combat in a unique time loop mechanic to create a tremendously satisfying adventure. So what's the problem here? Well, if you're playing it on PC, there are a number of performance-related issues. The game is currently sitting at a mixed rating on Steam from players, with lots of users complaining about stuttering, slowdown, and frame rate issues. Lots of people are suspecting, you guessed it, Denuvo, the anti-piracy software which has caused this issue in the past. Steam user Slim Conan wrote, "The game stutters. It does so because your computer is not strong enough to run both the game and the anti-piracy at the same time." On the other hand, Digital Foundry says it is not because of Denuvo. Alexander Battaglia, who is testing the PC version, said on Twitter, "There is no direct evidence at the moment in all my testing that there is micro-stuttering / that Denuvo is at fault for anything." Battaglia notes that there is a problem with something that looks like stutters. So there you go. There's an issue, but we don't know quite what it is yet. Peter C. referenced the engine used to make the game, saying, "It's called the Void engine because that's where all of my frames go." Well done, Peter. I'm sorry. I hope your frames get better. Oh, and some PS5 users are reporting that its load screens are making their consoles do a weird screaming noise. So a few fine points to iron out for Deathloop, but overall, it's a good game. Bad news about Battlefield 2042, guys. It's delayed. Good news, though, just for a month. In a statement on Wednesday, DICE GM Oscar Gabrielson broke the news, saying that building the next generation of Battlefield during a global pandemic has created unforeseen challenges for our development teams. The game had been scheduled to release next month, October 22nd. Its new release date, not too far away, November 19th. Gabrielson added, "Given the scale and scope of the game, we had hoped our teams would be back in our studios together as we move towards launch. With the ongoing conditions not allowing that to happen safely, and with all the hard work the teams are doing from home, we feel it is important to take the extra time to deliver on the vision of Battlefield 2042 for our players." Cue the Miyamoto meme. Obviously, this is not the first game to have a COVID delay. Halo Infinite, Deathloop, a million others have been delayed because of the pandemic. They won't be the last, but this delay now puts Battlefield right in between Call of Duty Vanguard, which releases November 5th, and Halo Infinite, which comes out December 8th. So now we got 3 major FPS franchises all coming out over a 4-week period. That is a lot. Employees at Activision BLizzard and the Media Labor Union, the Communications Workers of America, have sued Activision BLizzard, claiming that the company is using coercive tactics to stop employees from unionizing. No, they wouldn't do something like that. This comes after Activision BLizzard was also sued by the state of California over claims of sexual harassment and gender-based discrimination. It caused a massive controversy. You guys know about this. We've done a million videos. It caused a huge controversy, to say the least, led to several high-profile departures at Blizzard. The suit by the employees was filed with the National Labor Relations Board. It alleges that Activision Blizzard, which is not unionized, acted coercively to stop unionization using tactics like surveilling employees, interrogating them, making threats, and promising benefits. The old Amazon playbook, and the old playbook of all employers everywhere. CWA Organizing Director Tom Smith said management could have responded with humility and a willingness to take necessary steps to address the horrid conditions some workers have faced. Instead, Activision Blizzard's response to righteous worker activity was surveillance, intimidation, and hiring notorious union busters. Wilmer Hale. This comes as we're starting to see some unionization attempts across the games industry in response to things like crunch, forced arbitration, and more. All right, so ever since the Switch released in 2017, people have been asking for one particular feature, Bluetooth audio. Well, we've asked for a lot of other things too, wallpaper, but Bluetooth is definitely one of them. And finally, Nintendo has relented. In a surprise update this week, they enabled Bluetooth, letting us pair our AirPods with a Switch. But wait, did it have that feature the whole time? What was Nintendo waiting on? They are the weirdest company ever. There are some drawbacks though. It won't work for mics for in-game chat, and only 2 wireless controllers can be paired while you're using Bluetooth audio. But yeah, other than that, pair those AirPods, stop annoying your family while you're playing in dock mode. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Well, it's a good update regardless. All right, time for a 5-second review. There's been too much death lately. How about life loop? How about love loop? I'm tired of people dying. R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, we love you. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Kena, Bridge of Spirits. This is a story-driven action-adventure combining exploration with fast-paced combat as Kena players find and grow a team of charming spirit companions called the Drought. What a wonderful name for your companions. Enhancing their abilities and creating new ways to manipulate the environment. It comes to PC, PS5, and PS4 September 21st. Sheltered 2, a brutal survival management simulator set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Keep your faction of survivors alive, maintain your shelter, and scavenge the ravaged world for resources, befriend and trade with the factions you meet, or conquer them by force. Comes to PC September 21st. World War Z Aftermath. This is the ultimate co-op zombie shooter and the next evolution of the original hit World War Z that has now captivated over 15 million players. Fight off hordes of ravenous zombies in intense story episodes across new zombie-ravaged locations around the world. That's what the fast zombies. World War Z is fast zombies, I think, right? Comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One September 21st. Diablo 2 Resurrected. You know what it is. It's a remastered version of the quintessential action RPG, Diablo 2. Pursue the mysterious Dark Wanderer and fight the denizens of hell as you uncover the fate of the primevals Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal. Now in up to 4K resolution on PC, Diablo 2 Resurrected includes all content from both Diablo 2 and its epic expansion, Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One and Switch September 23rd. Ember. Fight fires for fun and profit in this unpredictable and frantic multiplayer game. Team up with friends, take on daily challenges, and climb to the top of the corporate firefighting ladder. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch September 23rd. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. The year, it's 3015. The battlefields are dominated by war machines known as battle mechs. Level entire cities and decimate the enemy in your battle mech. Follow a quest for glory and revenge. Manage an expanding mercenary company. Fight alongside your friends with a 4-player PvE co-op. Comes to PS5 and PS4 September 23rd. Medieval Dynasty. Hunt, survive, build, and lead in the harsh Middle Ages. Create your own medieval dynasty and ensure its long-lasting prosperity, or die trying. It comes to PC September 23rd. Sable! Embark on a unique and unforgettable journey and guide Sable through her time in the WWF. Just kidding. Guide it through her gliding, a rite of passage that will take her across vast deserts and mesmerizing landscapes capped by the remains of spaceships and ancient wonders. Will you stay with Mark Miro? Will you marry Brock Lesnar? Who knows? It comes to PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One September 23rd. Death Stranding Director's Cut. Tomorrow is in your hands. From legendary game director Hideo Kojima comes a genre-defying experience, now expanded and remastered in this definitive director's cut. In the future, a mysterious event known as the Death Stranding has opened a doorway between the living and the dead, leading to grotesque creatures from the afterlife roaming the fallen world, marred by a desolate society. As Sam Bridges, your mission is to deliver hope to humanity by connecting the last survivors of a decimated America. It comes to the PS5 September 24th. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Relive the story of Goku and other Z fighters in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Beyond the epic battles, experience life in the Dragon Ball Z world as you fight, fish, eat, and train with Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, and others. Comes to the Switch September 24th. Lost Judgment. This is a sequel to Judgment, the 2019 action thriller starring Takayuki Yagami as a disgraced lawyer turned detective. Lost Judgment once again puts players in the sneakers of Yagami. Joined by his partner ex-Yakuza Masahiro Kaito, the crime-fighting duo is called on to investigate a seemingly perfect crime whose lead suspect has an airtight alibi. What starts out as a tale of revenge reveals a tangled web of conspiracy involving several unlikely factions taking advantage of a broken legal system. But as victims pile up and Yagami unravels the truth, he must choose between defending the law or exacting justice. Exact justice, baby, let's do it. It comes to the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the PS4 September 24th. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you soon.